The Selfish Podcast acknowledges the traditional owners of the land and waters that this podcast is recorded on.
Everything that we discuss on the Selfish Podcast with Chloe and Steph is for informational purposes only. It's either our own experiences, opinions and insights or our guests. It's not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice and should not be relied upon as health or personal advice. It's time to prioritise yourself and your well-being. Subscribe now and get ready to put yourself first with the Selfish Podcast. Hey, they're beautiful people. And welcome to the next episode of the Selfish Podcast with Chloe and Steph. The Selfish Podcast is all about how you can put yourself first. And we really encourage that behaviour.
All the time.
If you like what you're listening to, please refer us to a friend, just send them the link and get them to have a listen. We've also got our Inner Circle, which is on Patreon, which is another way that you can support the pod. But yeah, great to have you all here and great to be back in the studio with you, Chloe.
Always a pleasure, Steph. Always. Delightful bouncy hair.
Thank you. So I actually bought this new tool. It's called Hot Tool. It's like a brush that is hot.
I feel like I need a photo of this. I think we need to show.
Brush, yeah. And
so it's not the Dyson.
No, it's not the Dyson one's like $800.
Yeah.
So this is a salon tool.
Yeah.
But it was like $150. So I figured now that my hair's quite a lot longer.
Yes.
I've also had some blonde put into it, so I'm practically a blonde.
Well,
No?
I think you're still brunette, personally.
Okay.
Do you feel like that? Blonde.
Yeah,
Don't we call it a blonde?
For me, I'm a blonde, but yeah, brunettes are better. So I'm still a brunette at heart.
Yeah.
And I thought I need to get better at doing my hair and being able to blow dry my hair. And for me, a blow dry looked like wet hair with my hairdryer with my fingers.
Oh, so you've never used a round brush?
Well, I'm not very good at it. I'm really uncoordinated. To hold two things at once, it was a big ask.
Challenging.
So this is like a hairdryer and a big round brush in one.
Yeah, I wonder how it would go on short hair. I'd love to try it.
Yeah, give it a go. Give it a go.
Yeah.
And we've got
They're
Bernie.
different.
We've got Bernie who's going to be on the pod in a few weeks' time.
Yes.
And she said,
hairdresser.
come into the salon and I'll show you how to use it. But I've just been playing around with it for now.
I can film you and Bernie working together with the tool.
The hot tool. Yeah.
Great.
It's been good because I figure, I just need to, now that my hair's longer, I feel like I need to be doing a little bit more with it.
I love it. You're just walking in and you've been bouncing around. I feel like your energy is so vibrant. You've got this bouncy hair.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. Still speaking about tools and favourite products, you wanted to share with us something that you have been loving for a little while.
Yes. So this is something that I've really wanted to share on the pod since day one. But we've had a lot of other topics to cover.
So many.
A lot of other things coming up and I haven't had a chance to. But it really is something that is close to my heart. It would have been with me for maybe a year and a half now.
Okay.
And it is my robot vacuum cleaner, Dustin.
Oh.
And this morning, Freddie walked up to Dustin and said, Dustin. And I was like, oh, he knows. We all know about Dustin. We all love Dustin.
Okay. So, I've got a question.
Okay.
Why? So I've got one as well.
Yes.
Mine is a female.
Okay. What's her name?
Rosie. So why did you choose a male?
Because I want the man cleaning the house for me.
That's
well,
really
also
good.
just Dustin. So I needed to be a play on words. So there are a number of suggestions out there.
Dusting?
Yeah, so Dustin because he's getting the dust.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just that's like my Siri voice is a male.
Oh.
The vacuum cleaner's voice is actually female because I don't like the male voice. But I will often choose
the male
to do the things for me.
Wow, that is so interesting. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
this is like no, because I've always used a female voice, but now I'm like, no, fuck that. I want to be in receivership mode, so I should be using a male voice.
Correct. I get the female for GPS because I trust females more. But
really?
Yeah. But
I'm so shit with directions that I'd probably trust a male more.
Yeah, but there you go. So,
wow.
yeah.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yes,
that
this
really
is very interesting.
Yeah. So what do you mean by this receivership situation? What does he mean by that?
Oh, so masculine and feminine energies.
Okay.
So one of my goals, I guess, for the year, or intentions, should I say, is to be more in receivership. So I'm doing this nervous system certification at the moment, and my beautiful mentor always talks about receivership and, you know, being in your feminine and being, as a female, we are meant to receive more. But often, sorry, I know this has gone completely off topic of Dustin. We'll come back to Dustin.
Yeah, well, Dustin will be there.
But often what, you know, now many females are in their masculine more. So they're the doers.
Yes.
Rather than receivers.
Yep.
So anyway, I just really like that kind of just resonated with me about using the male voice, because then I am receiving the help.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yes, exactly.
From Dustin.
Yes. I don't want Dustin to be an extension of me. I want Dustin to be his own entity. That is.
Well, they are. They're robots.
Yes.
They're fucking robots that map your house and clean it for you.
And then probably report back to their...
I know. We've got
the Illuminati or someone.
Jeepers, I know.
Exactly. So, yes. Okay. Yeah. Well, maybe have a think about that. Have a think about all the voices in your life and
change it up.
Want them to be male or female or, non-binary.
It can be non-binary. Yeah. Great.
But yeah, so Dustin, I was at a friend's house and I saw that they had a robot vacuum cleaner and they were telling me how amazing it was.
Does yours mop as well?
Yes, mine mops as well.
Same.
So mine's a Robo Rock, it's called. So it vacuums and mops. And I was I think Fred would have been a few months old. I think he was maybe 3 months old. And I was just like, this is amazing. And this friend of mine is so diligent and she would have turned over every single stone, looked at all the reviews.
Great.
So I literally bought it on the spot. And it was 4 figures. It was not a cheap investment.
Oh, no, same. Yeah. I think you've just got to be prepared to pay.
Exactly. Yeah. But I made this, I'd never even thought about getting a Robo vacuum cleaner. I saw hers and I literally just bought that on the spot and I was like, wow, what have I just done? But it has been one of the best decisions I've made, best purchases I've made for sure.
I love it.
And it came into its own when I was on maternity leave and when I had long periods of time either breastfeeding on the couch or with a baby sleeping on me. And coming from I've always worked. I had my first job when I was 14 at Baker's Delight. Would you like that medium or thin? That's where I met Jane, Hugh's sister.
Right.
Yep.
Were you in North Adelaide by any chance?
Burnside.
Burnside, okay.
Yeah, did a bit of Norwood and a bit of Fell because they owned a few different ones.
Right.
And it was hard to then go into this role where you're not achieving. And it's just reframing what you are achieving.
Hang on, not achieving what? That you're not cleaning the house? Is that what you mean?
No, I wasn't achieving anything.
As what?
With a baby lying on me.
You were achieving keeping that child alive.
I know, and I was achieving doing a whole bunch of stuff. But do you know what I mean? It's this mindset that you have, right?
We could go deep
on
that.
Mindset that you have. And so what I would do is I would put Dustin on. And Dustin would vacuum,
achieve things,
and mop. And I didn't really do. Yeah, he would. And I was like, well, he's mine, so I did it.
I pressed the button on my phone.
I did. Yeah, I had the initiative to buy him. Yeah. Then I pressed the button. I watched him clean, and so therefore I took that as a personal win. And that might have been the only thing I did around the house all day, and I actually felt really comfortable with that. I wasn't the kind of person who's like, I need to be making all these meals. We froze no meals before Fred was born. I didn't do anything. I literally just really, because we were so, having our child in our arms, it was just next level gratitude and next level presence with him. So I was like, this baby, and he still does have contact naps with me, and I cherish every single cuddle and laugh and everything that I can get from him. I'm never going to take that for granted. But the vacuum cleaner helped me to be able to let go.
Yeah, I love that. So our vacuum cleaner was given as a gift, a housewarming gift.
Oh, who's this friend?
My mum and dad.
Okay.
And
Angie and Peter.
I know.
Fucking love you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mum. Thank you, Dad. And so I too would have loved one when I was feeding, or breastfeeding the boys. Yeah. Because that would have just been a game changer.
It was excellent.
Honestly, when you walk in.
A game. It was a game because Fred, when he was older, he loves Dustin. He gets on his little motorbike, his little trike.
Yeah. And follows him around.
Follows
Follows the zigzag back and forth, back and forth.
Great.
And then go back to the bin. I love it too.
Exactly.
It's great.
And he auto does all that stuff, yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Auto cleans.
Yeah. Go on.
Auto cleans. Yeah, no, but if you are considering a gift, I feel like a Robo mop vac.
You'd have to really like them, though.
amazing.
That's quite an expensive gift.
Well, yeah, even if it was, it is an investment.
Or you can go with a group of friends.
Investment piece. Yeah. Great present maybe as like for a wedding gift or something like that as a group, potentially.
Absolutely.
I personally would love that.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Yeah, game changer.
So interesting. I looked up clever names for robot vacuums. Rosie's on the list.
Of course she is.
How? But how? How is it a clever name for a robot?
Rosie Robo. I think I actually stole it from Mum. I think Mum calls hers Rosie as well.
Dustbin Bieber. Another one.
That's great.
Alice is also a top one.
No.
Dobby, Charlie, Optimus Prime, Jarvis, Alfred, Bob, Jeeves, Cat Sitter, and Robocop.
Robocop.
They're some of the. I don't know how Dustin didn't get in there because personally I think it's
Is there
very
Dusty?
funny. No, not even Dusty. One they said was Harry.
Well, that's
Harry,
weird.
because it's a pun on Harry Potter, but I don't get that.
I don't get it either. That just kind of, I think about hair.
Yeah, so, yeah, I say thank you, Dustin, and I appreciate you.
Yeah. Love you.
What about your
great.
favourite products?
What else would be up there for me? I think my favourite product, well, Thermomix for me would be up there. I don't think I
have a
use
Thermomix.
it to the optimum.
You made some outstanding hummus.
Hummus is great. Yeah, I love it for just the
And margaritas. You're like margaritas.
margarita mix.
Yeah, they're the two things I've had from your Thermomix.
Okay, hummus does a good porridge. It does a good guacamole.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what do you mainly use it for? Its chopping abilities or its mixing abilities or
Mixing, chopping.
steaming?
Never done the steam actually because you can layer it. It's actually really quite an amazing machine in that you can actually cook a full meal on top of each other, stacks up and then it like layers. And so the steamer would be on top of, say, if you wanted meat in the bottom, then the steamer would be on the top and you put your veggies in that. It's like, unbelievable the layers that it can, what it can do. But I just I'm not that well versed in it.
Yeah.
Even though I've had it a couple of years, I need to probably do some more learning on how to use it. But I've never been one to have all of the reason why I got a Thermomix, because it is a huge investment. I didn't have all of the other kitchen appliances.
Yes.
So for me, it was a smart investment because if I'd gone and purchased all of the other, like the KitchenAid, the stabby mixer thing.
Yeah, the bar mix.
Yeah, all of those things.
Yep.
So I just got the one.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And we've got all of the different ones, which is why I just can't justify getting one.
No,
because we've
fair
got
enough.
all of the other bits and pieces. But what I do really admire about Thermomix is the way that they market their product, because so that's done through consultants and they come to your house or a friend's house and they show you every single feature that this possible thing could have, which is excellent. Whereas if you think about, like, I've got one of those blendy things, like that have got all the different attachments. Like it's got a smoothie attachment and this attachment and that attachment, but I've got no idea what half the fucking attachments
Is that
do.
like a KitchenAid? Is that a KitchenAid?
No, so KitchenAid's the one that you would like make
Just
a cake
the cake one.
So this is one that like chops things. It's got like the blades and stuff, and it's it's a counter. It's probably a bit bigger than a Thermomix, and then you put different. It's a bar mix. No, it's not a bar mix. Magimix.
Magimix. Yes.
Yeah, and it's got all of these attachments, and you can like do dough, and you can do this, and you can do that. But how the fuck would I know all of these things? Am I going to read the instruction manual? No.
Well, the Thermomix, I've done dough in it before, and it's literally programmed to make it for you. Just add the ingredients in and it does it all.
Yeah.
It's a game changer.
Yeah. And then the way they sell it is that they really showcase all of the different things.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Maybe when one of these things – could you make a cake in a Thermomix? Like, does it do the
It doesn't
cake?
cook the cake, but it makes the –
shit, yeah. But it's got a mixing spoon. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All of that. It's measures stuff, which is amazing as well.
Good.
Pancakes, piece of piss.
Piece of cake.
Yeah.
Piece of
cake.
pancake.
Piece of piss. So, yeah, that would probably be
Awesome.
up there for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
All
You
right.
know what? If we can use appliances to better our lives, I say go for it. And I mean, this conversation, so before we started recording, I said to Chloe, I've got a few things I want to talk about. Roundabouts, stop signs, and my Robo Vacuum cleaner.
Are we going to go into roundabout, or we'll leave that to next week?
Save that
We'll save that.
Save that for another episode.
Maybe we can see if people really want to hear about roundabouts and stop signs. It's not really high on my list, but you know,
You just
you
wait
always.
you just
no,
wait
no,
to see
I
what
love
I've
it.
got
I
to say
do.
about
I'm
it.
totally open to it because I know you'll bring something that will blow my mind.
You know what? Small talk is one of my favourite kinds of talk.
I've got that about you. You're really bringing it out of me as well. Which I love about you. Shall we move into...
You're like, can we please move on?
Well,
Sure.
moving right along.
Let's
Come on,
do
we've
it.
got to get to our guests.
Yeah, we've got other things
We've
to
got,
do.
you know, the
We've got
second
part 2 of Amelia.
instalment. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so we've got a full moon coming up on the 24th of February, and it is in Virgo. So this full moon is a highly imaginative full moon, and it helps us to analyse and extract information that may be helpful as we seek to observe the bigger at play in our lives. So it's an assortment of energies. There'll be a mixed assortment of energies present around this full moon. One of the most sobering and challenging energies will be amplified at this time. And there could be some major challenges, breakups, and isolation could occur. So just be mindful, I guess.
Yes.
Although these difficulties could be felt, the full moon will be opposite Mercury. So this brings a deep need to balance the mind, emotions, and the heart amid these challenges. Venus and Mars unite, and there's a little dance at play with Jupiter. So this might fire up romance, pleasure, and indulgence. So that's pretty exciting as well. As always with like full moon, I thought I'd just like remind on you how you can work with the full moon. So you can charge your crystals under the full moon. Dancing is a really beautiful way to release energy, lighting a candle, smudging with sage, or starting a gratitude journal.
Lovely. And this
So
is...
it's like the end of a cycle.
Yep.
So
Yep. And this is my Arthur full moon. So he was born on the full moon. Yeah. So this would be his full moon.
His full moon, yeah.
This is his full moon. So yeah, I think you and I will definitely try and do something
Beautiful.
special around the full moon.
Gorgeous. I love that.
And should we pull a card?
Yes, let's do it. So I just pulled this one out today.
What's this one?
This one is the Lucid Dreams Beginner's Tarot.
Ah.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. By Saint Solel. So rather than, I think last week we did the just oracle cards.
Yes, we did.
These ones have the minor and the major.
Yes, excellent.
Okay, yeah. Did you want to pull?
No, you
Or you
pull.
want me to pull?
You pull.
Okay.
You're a good
All right.
puller.
Thanks. I always pull them upside down.
This is a good one. Do we need to do another pull?
Nah.
You tell me, yeah. I think tell me
Nine
what
of
it is.
Pentacles.
Nine
So
of
I have
Pentacles.
pulled it reversed, and on here it's has the words guarded, workaholic, hustle and grind, jealousy, envy, financial setbacks, living beyond your means, and superficiality.
Well, I'm definitely living beyond my means if I buy me that Thermomix. Just it knows these cards always know us, don't they?
Yeah,
They get us so much. So what number was it? Sorry, what kind of pentacle was it?
9.
Okay,
Number 9.
9 of Pentacles. All right.
Oh, it's really nice if it's up the other way.
Okay, the 9 of Pentacles is about reaching a stage in your life where you are independent, confident, and self-sufficient. The 9 of Pentacles conveys not only joy, but also the feeling of security and freedom that material wealth can bring. Her previous challenges gave her the wider perspective she needs to understand the spiritual value of her success. Knowing how difficult it was to get here, she intends to enjoy every single day that is given to her. That I very much resonate with.
Agree with.
So if it's reverse, so love, fear of giving up independence, being guarded in love, career, desire to succeed without work, no work-life balance, finance, overspending, impulsive purchases. So is that what we're doing, the bottom ones, or is that what it's got, like,
No, I think give everyone the upward.
The upright is love, high standards for partners, balance of love and independence, career, achievement in career, hard work paid off, success.
Beautiful.
Finance, financial abundance.
Great.
Property purchases. So I'm not really sure what those dot points mean.
Which dot point?
Like what I just read out.
Well, they've just picked out the themes
okay.
and then used the 9 of Pentacles to kind of give you more information about those themes.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Beautiful.
Lovely.
Okay.
Excellent. Well, let's now dive into part 2 of our chat with Amelia. So Amelia Davatzis, who we did part 1 last week, tells us all about low tox. This week we continue to go down the low tox rabbit hole, but also we talk about Amelia's healing journey. She lost her son when he was only a few weeks old, Alexander. So she's a fellow baby loss mama, and she also shares with us some of her healing journey. So buckle on in. If you haven't listened to last week, then pop on back.
Amazing things in last week's episode.
Yeah, the one I really keep thinking about is just opening up those windows. Ventilation.
Yes. Yes. Let out the bad juju as well.
All right, enjoy.
Okay, bye.
And do you feel like, and again, the question's coming from a personal experience. So I moved our dishwasher, the one with I always get the dishwasher and the washing machine mixed up. The one where you put your plates and stuff in. Dishwasher. Yeah. I know I always get it confused. That's funny. Just they seem like the same thing to me. And I bought all this low tox stuff, got the recommendation from your page. But then my husband's like, well, Steph, it's just not washing the dishes. It's just not doing. So, like, do you feel that the natural products, like we're used to using all of these like high chemical products that do clean stuff, but there's a trade-off. Yeah. So do you, like, I don't really know what my question is. Do you sort of know what I'm getting at?
Yeah, I do. I absolutely do. Yes, there's a trade-off. I think you have to say to yourself, and the trade-off shouldn't be dirty dishes, mind you.
No.
Maybe you haven't found the right setting on the dishwasher.
Yeah.
Maybe you haven't rinsed properly. Like, is your husband like a massive, like, you need to rinse.
Likely haven't rinsed properly.
You kind of have to rinse.
He's a good rinser.
And, like, that's the trade-off. Like, I'm going, okay, I need to rinse my dishes a little bit better than maybe I would have if I'd used Finish Powerball, because you're not having the colours, the synthetic fragrances. You're not having the things that make it shine and the sparkle and all of that. Yes, there's levels of that in the low tox, but no, it's probably not going to be as amazing and incredible as your Finish or, the other brands out there.
It's untraining them with them.
You have to clean the filter quite a lot more with low tox dishwashing, because it doesn't have, I'm going to lose the word of it, but there's something that basically, you need to clean the filter more, because it doesn't, it's like it doesn't have that breakdown as well as those bigger products.
Note to self,
and I think maybe too, you have to maybe use the longer cycle as well.
So I use like a hot cycle, a long cycle, and I do just rinse maybe a little bit more than I would have previously. And then if you're still finding that that's not cleaning for you, move to a different brand and just try a few different ones, because you'll find one, and that's the trick. What might work for me might not work for you. And I do sometimes get feedback going, oh, this is awful, I don't like it, or this is horrible. Like when I moved to Castile soap for washing our dishes, like just hand washing, my husband's like, oh, this doesn't foam. And I'm like, well, stuff doesn't have to foam to be clean. Like, it's that perception that
it's the perception.
That's what
it's our learning.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's sort of like a relearning.
Like on reflection, okay, there were a few times where maybe like the avocado could have been cleaned off a little bit better and it sort of stuck to a knife. But it was also the shininess. And he's like, well, it's not. But maybe it's that, retraining to go, actually, it doesn't have to be these things. It's still clean. It's still working.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have all the shit on it.
Correct.
Yeah. You're not eating the chemicals that come with that. So it's kind of like,
Yeah. And in terms of cost, so we have to think about how we're doing things and maybe change the way we're doing things when we're using low tox products. I think that's the key thing.
Yes.
In terms of cost, do you find that it's usually more expensive or
it can be? Yeah. It can be. I think food for me is probably the most expense that we have, because I'm a really massive advocate for my family about eating healthy food, organic, sort of like ethical meat and pasture-raised eggs. And I get that might sound like for someone going, oh, gee, great for choosing all of that. But that means a lot to me. I've looked into it, and I don't want to eat cows that have had a horrible life. I don't want to eat chickens that have never seen the sun. Yeah. That's a choice, and I'm prepared to pay more for that. Otherwise, to be honest, I don't want to eat it. Going to a restaurant, I'm out. I'll eat things. Like I'll eat meat from, I'm not like going, oh, I'm not eating that, it's not organic. Like it's not, I'm not trying to have that mentality. But again, where I can control what we're eating, 80% of the time, that is what my choice is. And that's where the expense goes. I definitely save a lot in making my own products. I think that I buy things in bulk. I'm a massive advocate of Castile soap. I use Dr. Planet Castile soap, which is a beautiful lady, Chris, out in the Yarra Valley, who started her own company. And I use Castile soap for a lot of stuff. Like it has multiple uses within the home. Really? And that is how I would generally save on certain things. So I can go, okay, well, I'm not investing a ton of money into all these low tox products. I'm making a lot of it myself. I can use that money towards food, or I can put that into other areas of our home. So that's where I look at it. Whereas you might have the opposite. You might go, I don't have time for that, I'm going to buy it. And it can get expensive. Healthy products are more expensive. That's life. That's the reality. Everything that I've looked at, and it's almost like this running joke now. It's like, oh, of course it's not stocked in the stores, it's too healthy, or of course it's this, it's too, like, of course it's $500, it's healthy for you. Like it's like this ongoing, and you're just like, yep, like whatever's good for you comes with a price tag. And it shouldn't be that way.
Shouldn't.
No.
How can I go to McDonald's and get like a meal for $5, and yet to make a healthy $5 meal here is like you've got 2 ingredients. It's like I don't get it. I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. Like it's backwards, and I think that we've really drifted away from food. And I'm going to be talking about that a bit more actually in my page, because I'm really passionate about farming and agriculture and biodynamic farming, and where our food comes from, and how we've somehow lost this massive connection between our food and everything's quick and easy and packaged. And I find it really hard to go to supermarkets. I mean, I do a bit of shopping at supermarkets, but equally, I think, God, like, it's so wrong. There's just so much I don't buy from there. There is so much I don't buy from there. It's just, it's not food. It's not food.
Yeah.
And I find it really hard. My kids are saying, Mum, why don't my lunchboxes look like everybody else's lunchboxes? And I'm like, I don't want you eating that. Like, it's not, it's giving you absolutely no nutritional benefit whatsoever. Maybe they've put some synthetic vitamin D in there. Whoop-de-doo. Like it's they've fortified that. Wow. Like, So I looked into fluoride just very quickly, and I thought, what when you think of fluoride, what would you think of? What would you think fluoride would look like putting it in to the water as a chemical? I was having a think about it, and I was like, okay, is it like a white powder they tip into the water? Like,
I think where does it come from? Because I think of teeth and toothpaste. Like a whitey kind of, or maybe I don't know. Yeah.
So fluoride's actually derived. There's a place in Geelong down here in Melbourne. It's a pesticide, and they actually burn the pesticide, and the gas that comes off the pesticide is fluoride.
It's a gas.
It's a gas that's basically a component of a pesticide. And so then they take that and they truck it up to the water dams, and then they put that into the water. They obviously liquefy it or do something to it to change it. But I was like, really? I don't know. I just thought it would have been some sort of like pharmaceutical grade something that goes in the water. But yeah, it's like this gas that's a byproduct of pesticides, which I was kind of going,
yeah, oh goodness,
interesting.
It's amazing. We had one more question about EMFs in the home.
Yes. So electromagnetic fields are generated through things like your mobile phone, for example. Sort of simplify it. You've got your Wi-Fi and things on your mobile phone. EMF can also come off certain appliances that you have. Induction cooktops is one that has high EMFs. Yeah. Even ovens, timers on the oven, for some reason, like digital timers on your oven can have a bizarre EMF field.
So why is this bad? Like, what is it? Like, in a nutshell, what is?
Yeah, so EMF, the radiation that comes from them, obviously you've probably heard, like, don't stand in front of the microwave because it gives off radiation.
Yeah.
So EMF, there's just a lot of information that's starting to come out now to question the safety of it. We can't see it, we can't feel it, we can't smell it. Like, it's something that we're very sort of, it's not there, so we don't think about it. But there's all this, like, the 5G towers, the cell towers that are going up. There's a lot of inconsistencies with Australia's level of acceptable radiation from cell phones, and when I say cell phones, it's very American, but it's mobile phones, laptop computers, iPads, all that sort of stuff. But so Australia's acceptable level is something like 1 million. And then other countries might be 200,000, for example. Wow. So we're really high.
We've got a lot of work to do.
I feel like we've got work to do.
Plastic space in the top space,
So
you sort of think, we're a developed country. Surely the recommendations that we have in place are suitable. Yeah.
Yeah. And EMFs, it's a massive topic of conversation, and it's probably a little bit hard to just explain in like a nutshell. But
I was going to say it's a big question.
It's a big one. But again, it's just to be separate podcast episode. It's just to be like laptops on our bodies, mobile phones being close to our skin. I'll definitely just say, like, don't women put mobile phones in your bra when you're running or walking. Don't put them in your pockets. Your phone constantly has an echo. So your phone's saying, where's the tower? Here I am. Where's the tower? Here I am. So if you're going for a walk, it's constantly saying, where are you? Here I am. Where are you? Here I am. And it's constantly got that transmission and it's constantly emitting from the device. So if you're wearing that device on you, it's touching your skin, between your clothing or on your skin.
Yeah.
It's got this constant transmission line. When you're on your phone and you're speaking, you're holding it up to your ear, it's emitting. When you wear the Bluetooth earpods with no strings, it's emitting a Bluetooth signal. So these are all EMFs that are kind of hidden, that we can't see, that they're having an impact in some way, shape or form. And there's a lot of data and a lot of information that's coming out to say, well, hey, that's not safe to do that. I mean, there's a warning in the iPhone that says at all times to keep your mobile phone more than 3 or 5 millimeters away from the body at all times. Whereas if we've got it in our pocket, that's not happening. Yeah. Men, there's like even associations between EMFs and lower sperm counts. Guys kind of wearing it in their pocket around that area. Yes. Again, for children, they're just a lot more susceptible to EMFs because their skulls are thinner, their bones are still growing, their immune system's still developing. They've got a lot more water in their body, which EMF is more attracted to. They've got a larger volume of water in their body. So there's just things like that where children can be more susceptible to EMF exposure. And this is literally the first generation of children that's born from birth to death of just EMF, like mobile phones, towers. Like I grew up, we didn't have mobile phones till I was 17 or 18. So we kind of, avoided that. But these kids are born now just like they've got EMF monitors in their bedrooms. They've got Wi-Fi, the screens watching them all the time. They've got, things they strap onto their body to monitor their pulse rates and their heart rates. They might be in an EMF cradle to like rock them to sleep. They might be just bombarded with like these, they might have a heater in the room that's got maybe Wi-Fi on and off things, and they might have a security camera running through the house that's got it's just, there's like a lot. It's a lot happening, and it's this new little person that's kind of just trying to get into the world, and it's been bombarded with a lot of possible, and there's no say. We're not saying yes, it definitely causes issues. There's a lot of hearsay. There's a Dr. Charlie Teo, who's a brain surgeon in Sydney. He says, look, I can't prove it, but he said the increase in this specific type of brain cancer, which is some glioma, they're all developing on the person's mobile phone speaking ear. And he just said, look, without a doubt, there's something to do with mobile phones that is, because I can't prove it, but he said
it's all pointing to that.
Exactly.
It's a lot of it's pointing to that. So, and that's maybe overuse over an extended period of time. So no, sitting next to a Wi-Fi monitor for 2 hours once isn't going to hurt you. But if you're sitting in a Wi-Fi monitor every day for 8 hours a day for the rest of your life, then maybe there might be a health concern or a consequence that might come.
Or if it's in your bedroom or something like that.
Exactly. So switch it off. If you go to a hotel, switch it off. If it's in or around anywhere that you're sleeping, I definitely recommend switching it off at night. It's something that doesn't need to be on when you're not using it.
Yeah. And so this question was the husband thinks it's too extreme to limit children's exposure to EMF. How can I approach this?
She can definitely reach out to me. I'm happy to provide resources and things like that. Like, I'm really big on if I can try to educate or just explain. There's really great books that are out there at the moment. I'm reading Radiation Nation at the moment, which is an amazing book on EMF and exposures, and it's fully referenced, so it's got a lot of information. There's also building biologists that do readings, so they can actually come out to your house with a device and show you, like, oh my God, this radiation or EMF is off the charts. Like, she could get someone like that to come in and be like, here, like, have a look. And everybody's home that has a Wi-Fi modem in it will have off the chart readings.
Yeah. And do those little stickers work? I've seen those little.
I don't know the answer to that specifically. I've been told that they can give a false sense of security for people, and that basically the best thing that we can do is to distance ourselves from our devices. So if we're making a phone call, just have it on speaker, put it on the bench, or hold it away from your head. If we're using it like a laptop, sit at a table and have it away from not on you. So just distance can make an incredible difference in that aspect.
And I suppose especially with kids using them.
So my kids, I'm a bit of a funny mum. I don't really let my kids have access to Wi-Fi. My son is not happy with me about that whatsoever, because there's a lot of games out there that he wants to use on his device that his friends are using that need internet. So our rule is you can download a game, and as long as it doesn't run on internet, you can use it. If it runs on internet, you can't use it. The exception of that, which literally happened about 2 weeks ago, we had a massive discussion about Roblox, and I caved in and I said, right, you can have it. But he has to earn internet points. So he has to do things around the house to earn points to get access to internet. And then when he does use it, he has to lay like on his tummy and have it out in front of him. And so it's not resting on his body.
On him, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I don't want it on his like genitals or on his chest or close to his. And if he FaceTimes his friend or whatever, it's like on the table or on the bench, and he's sort of sitting back from him. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Well, so many
so many things to ponder.
So many more questions.
I know.
think we've got so many links that we'll share in the show notes.
Absolutely.
And we'll absolutely, highly encourage everyone to jump onto your website, also to have a look at your Instagram and all of the amazing swaps. So we'll share a lot of that stuff as well with everyone. But changing gears a little bit.
Yes.
So we have the Selfish podcast, and we always love to ask our guests, how do you put yourself first and be selfish?
Yeah, I loved this question because I'm really bad. I'm really bad at it. I think I've had young kids, and that's created a massive blockage for me in my ability to think that I'm worthy of time to myself, because I feel like I just have to be on for them and available to them almost at all times, and that nobody can do what I can do when I'm not there. I'm getting better. I'm a massive lover of my own time, and to be at home by myself is that is just my haven. I don't even know, even if it's things like tidying up or chore, I'm alone. It's okay. I love it. I love it. I'm even not good at walks and things like that. I'll always be like, do you want to come with me? I just, to be able to go and do things on my own, I really, really struggle. I guess a couple of things that I do is I try to go to the osteopath or try to Pilates and try to do some things like that for myself, and I'm really at that point just recently where I'm I can do those things and actually not feel guilty for going and having that time to myself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I've literally been at that phase, and I know that everybody with children, I would think, has been there at some stage. I can't even have a shower without feeling like sometimes I'm at the point now where I can have a shower and not feel bad for having a shower. That's where I'm at, and my kids are 9 and 5. And so I'm not any definition of selfish. I feel like I'm a giver, and I'm always there at my own detriment. I give when I maybe don't even have anywhere to give from. That's just me and my personality, but I know that that isn't right, and that I need to work on that. But
thank you for sharing that, Amelia. So raw and honest. And I think that'll speak to so many women in particular, that it does take a lot of effort to put yourself first.
Very much so.
It does often get to a point when the kids are a certain age that then you realise that you have a bit more time and space to be able to give back to yourself. So I think that will speak to so many. And I think it's amazing that you have the awareness now that you are, are trying to
and what a better person I am to be able to step away from them. I know not often, but occasionally I'll go and stay for the night just at my mum's apartment, and there's nobody there, or I might catch up with a girlfriend and I'll come back and I'm like, oh, reboot. Okay, I'm a great mum again. I'm not beautiful. I'm not snappy and at a wit's end. And sometimes I know now when I get to that point, I'm just like, wow, you are not doing anything for yourself. You're not looking after yourself, or you need to go have that time out. And it's only taken me until now to basically recognize that I'm at that point and do something about it. So
thanks for sharing that.
And Amelia, Alexander, your firstborn baby, who passed away when he was 6 weeks of age. Firstly, I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
We would love to know about your own healing journey.
Yeah. Sure.
How have you supported yourself after such a shocking and
brutal time,
heartbreaking
time?
Yeah,
God, I don't even know how I've done that. So this year it's 10 years. Massive. It's I mentally really struggled this year. I think that the duration of time that has passed has just been wow. It's really hard, I think, for people that have also fairly new in their loss. I know it's only been a couple of years since you lost Arthur, that you can't comprehend what you're going to look like in 10 years. You can't even go there.
6 months, even 6 months at the moment. I'm like, who knows where I'll be in 6 months' time.
It's I don't know. For me, when he died, it was bang, the world ended. It had to start again in my head. Like literally when people say the world was spinning, that's me. I was there.
Yep.
And it was like, it was brutal. I literally had to start my life again. And that was second by second, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day. And I did. I got up every day. I went back to work 3 weeks after he passed away. And I cried every day, every single day. And I had a job that allowed me to kind of go in and out of the office. And so a lot of the time, if I had to be out, I'd be crying in the car. I'd just sob. But it kind of gave me purpose. I had to get back into something. I had to get up every day. I just had to keep taking steps forward because I think I knew that if I didn't, I would have gone backwards. So it's just, and everyone's going, oh my God, how do you get out of bed every day? Like, how do you do this? How do you do that? And it was, I don't know the answer. It's almost like a conscious choice. You're laying there and you have to say, get up today. It's like a decision that you have to say to yourself. And I don't think there was one day that I said, no, don't get up. It was every day I was getting up.
Yeah.
And then bloody hell, like I'm 10 years. Like it's like I don't even know where the life has gone. Those early days they seem like a lifetime ago, but they were just so incredibly painful. Just so incredibly painful. And definitely having Harvey, which in the scheme of things happened fairly quickly. I fell pregnant, I think it was about 8 months after I lost Alexander. But it gave me a purpose. And I think that that's what you lose. You lose every sense of purpose that you have.
Yeah.
Like it's, And so he gave that back to me, which was lovely. But it's tough. Like 2 years, I think I felt like 2 years was worse than 1 year because it's like 1 year you're like shocked. I think shock takes over for such an incredible amount of time.
Yeah.
For me, it was, I don't know, I felt like the first year was just, I can't even remember like things that were happening. And then to have like a new baby and things like that, I think I put a lot aside. And then it's almost like year 2 and year 3, it's like, okay, well, you can feel all of that now, like all the stuff that you didn't feel then, you can have a little bit of that. And I think I did a lot of healing in journaling. I did a lot of writing. I wrote sort of poetry. I used to do something every year called Capture Your Grief, which was a really beautiful like a healing journey that this lady used to do. She doesn't do it anymore, but she was in WA. And I did go on a retreat, which was incredible. And I think the retreat put into perspective for me that there was a lot of things to be grateful for in the sense that a lot of the women there lost their baby for stillbirth. And so for me, it was really quite eye-opening to think, oh, okay, I've lost him, but I got to see him. And there were certain aspects of I got to see him open his eyes and I got to spend time with him, whereas these other people didn't necessarily have that. And so then I started to be like, oh, gosh, like that's awful. Like, those poor women. Like, and I had this like empathy going, gosh, how grateful was I? Like, despite the circumstances, I had to kind of look at it that way and think, gosh, like I'm so grateful for the things that he offered and for the things that we experienced and for the time that we had. And yes, I always look back and think, oh, I wish more. Like you always want more. But I sort of had to sort of change this perception of, like he's gone to, but like how thankful I was that he was born and how thankful I was that he was here. And that helped. That definitely helped. I mean, lots of doctors were like, here, have antidepressants and do this and do that. And I'm like, I'm not depressed. Like my son died. Like, I'm sad. I'm really sad. You know, like this is really hard. And so I sort of had to branch out and you just have to find your own flow. And there were definitely things that, like I started walking a lot. I had sort of special places that I felt close to him. There were just certain things that I had to do for myself. And I think I was needing to be very selfish then because I had to do things that made me feel better. And and different journeys look differently from me, my husband, my parents, grandparents. Like it's a very lonely path. Very. Nobody can kind of help you in the sense that they can't fix it. And I think everybody just wants to fix it and they can't fix it. And they feel very helpless. And I think that that's okay for them to feel that way. I think a lot of family members and things like that were very, wanting to come in with their little toolboxes and go, you know what, I can fix this and I can do this and I can do that. But I think the reality of everything is that that's just not the case. And I guess that's hard for them, but it's also you find your journey and your way. Somehow. It's really hard. It's a really, really difficult place to be. But time heals not everything, but time heals. And I think that life goes on and you move on. And I think I just sort of look at him now as inspiration. I guess I look at him for that bleach story was his story. Doing the bleach in there, and I'm like, this is not right. It's I guess you just have to try to be, I don't know, like I feel like I'm a positive person, and you can just, there's two ways you can go about it. There's and you just try to always take the positive side of things. And I can't watch the news, I can't read horrible stories. I've really taken a step back from things that don't serve me, friendships that don't serve me, people that don't lift me up, people that, I just don't need in my life anymore. I've sort of, you grow and you move forward. And I think it's been, really eye-opening, that aspect of it. I think you lose a lot, but you also gain a lot in many areas. And I think it's been very much life-changing, very much life-changing. But I've definitely learnt things. When you say like this selfish podcast, I think I've learnt things that serve me. And I don't know whether that's like a selfish thing, but it's almost like a coping mechanism that I've gone, okay, that doesn't serve me. That doesn't do anything for me. I need to move away from that because it's not making me feel good or happy, or it doesn't service me in any way. And so I've tried to kind of just have an approach of kindness and love and life. It sucks. Good people go through really shit things. And it took a lot, like, why me? Why did this happen? We're good people. Like, why did we have to go through this? And I think it's a really hard approach to sort of go, I won't ever accept. There's never an acceptance that this has happened. And, people that say, oh God, this and that. And I just, I don't have like beliefs as such as to why this could have happened or why this did happen. But I just try to, I don't know, look positive.
You're amazing.
Try to be positive. Try to move forward.
Well, he would be, Alexander would be so proud of what you've created and what you're doing. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. And how has, sorry, you go.
Yeah, I was just going to say, from trauma, I think like good things can happen. Like it's okay to be happy after such an incredible loss and after incredible sadness, that happiness can still be incorporated and be part of your life.
I know when we had Fred, I got pregnant with him about 8 months after we lost Arthur. And when he was born, it was just, I know everyone, when they have, a child is happy after the birth when they're, but when they're healthy and living. But my God, like I don't think I could ever, like that level of joy and just relief was next level.
It is. I think it gives you the purpose, and it's never to replace never. I knew that Harvey would look nothing like him, be nothing like he was. Just I knew that he was going to be a boy. I didn't find out, but I just knew he was going to be a boy. He would look nothing like him. And he was everything that I needed at the time, because I think if I'd had a girl, it's almost like I would have felt disappointed personally.
Yeah.
I don't know. He'll never really know the extent of, I guess, what he gave. Yeah.
What he killed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty special.
Yeah.
Special boy. Still is. Still is, for sure. But and then the decision to have another child again after that was pretty massive as well. So
well, that's where we currently are.
Yeah.
Like I just don't know if I can do it again, because we lost Arthur. We had him for 36. He was with us for 36 hours. And I feel very grateful for the time that we had with him. But the thought of going through another pregnancy, I don't know. And I think my husband, really in year 2, my husband's only going through and dealing with his grief now. Yes. So I think he just needed to get me through the pregnancy, make sure Fred was okay. And then now he's still, so we're still, it's still early days, but it's.
Yeah. Well, we waited 4 years and then sort of said, okay. And I think, she was, I don't know, she was very wanted, very needed. I knew I was going to be having a girl. I just knew that there would be a girl. And she looked exactly like him. It was freaky. Wow. So but she was a girl. So it was sort of, but her pregnancy actually was due to go in and have surgery because I had a cyst on one of my ovaries, and I had pregnancy losses prior to Alexander. I had a ectopic pregnancy. I had multiple miscarriages. And so for me to sort of go through this horrible fertility years and then to have him and to lose him, and then to have Harvey, and then I think I had another miscarriage, and then I had Emily. But I was going in to have this cyst removed off my ovary, and it said the paperwork the night before, just do a pregnancy test just to make sure that you're not pregnant before the operation. And I was like, oh, there's one in the drawer here. I'll just grab that. And I did it, and I was like, oh, it's positive. Wow. Like, no idea. And like, had I not done that, like it would have, it would have terminated the pregnancy. So it was so bizarre. And the minute I looked at the stick, I'm like, it's a go. It's a go. It's a go. I know. So she's a little delight, but it's a tough decision. I completely appreciate that is a difficult place to go, and you know what, you will know. You will make that choice when the time's right.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm not pressuring anything. Actually, I was to start with. I think because it was such like my mission was to get pregnant as soon as I could after Arthur died. That it was sort of like. Steph, would it have to be like that? Like, Fred's here, he's alive, he's healthy, he's okay. Yeah. And so it was even just going, okay, no, actually, let's just be. Let's try not to live in that fear, cycle of thinking the worst is going to happen, and just be. And then if it's right, then it will have another living child. And if not, then we'll just have, Arthur and Fred.
Yeah.
They will meet one day. Well, I reckon they've met already. I truly believe that Arthur guided Fred to us for sure.
It's beautiful. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think people that have experienced such deep trauma in life, like they're just a special type of person, having gone through sort of what they've gone through and been able to kind of move forward in a positive way. I think it's almost like when you meet people and you think, God, like, what have you been through? Like, you're a pretty interesting person, and it sounds like you might have gone through a lot, or you've been through a lot, and like how remarkable that you are who you are today, or you are where you are today, because you sort of used that pain, I guess, in such a unique space or a unique way. It's almost inspiring. I think you can kind of draw upon it and use it in a different way to what people kind of expect. But there's definitely times that are still hard, even this far down the track. And I think for me, a lot of post-traumatic stress decides to pop its ugly head at odd times, which I've never really sort of experienced before, and just it was like 10 years, bang, there's some post-traumatic stress for you. Enjoy that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is horrible. So it can still creep in, and definitely, I mean, grief just is there. It's just forever. You just learn to live with it. I think it's always going to be present, but it's just the way that it sort of morphs and grows and develops over time. And it's very tricky to navigate at times, and anniversaries and birthdays and moments in the park, and like the jacket that I bought him that my kids are now wearing. Like, it's just the like little things, the ifs, the what ifs, there's too many, but they'll just be there forever. So
they'll be there forever, exactly.
Over time. Yeah.
Yeah. You've talked about your Instagram account. A glimpse of Amelia is now no longer just an Instagram account. So can you tell us a little bit about your website, what you're doing, the training you're providing
Love
people?
So I guess I'm at a fork in the road. My daughter's going to school next year, and it's like, do I go back to work or do I make this work? And I'm really, really wanting to do the make this work pathway.
Amazing.
If I can, I'd love to be able to continue offering the services. And again, my page is very much going to remain the same, in the sense that I want people to have access to this information for free. That's my motto. The other motto I've got is, it's never about the brand, it's always about the ingredients. So I'll always say that. I'm not a brand basher. I'm not here to down brands. It's not my go. It's what's in them. There might be a brand that has like one incredible product, but then the rest are just wouldn't use them. And so I'm not going to bash the brand.
That's good to remember.
And so I get a lot of people going, what about this brand? I'm like, hard to say, don't know. Can't look into the 50 ingredients the 50 products that they've got there. That's a little bit tricky for me to do. It's just the time that goes into the posts that I do is it's a lot. And I do it because I actually genuinely love it. And I really, really enjoy putting a post together because the depths of research that I know that I've gone to, it's actually really satisfying to be like, okay, well, here it is. I've hit me if you can, do better if you can, throw some hate my way if you've researched it better than I have. So there can be a little bit of that, but it's nice most of the time. So my business now, I thought, okay, well, how can I make this work? Obviously, I need to get an income from it. How do I do that? And I decided to offer things like consultations, which is where I can either come to your home or we can have a phone conversation if you're not in Melbourne. And I can have a chat with you. You're like, Amelia, I don't know where to start. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. And I'm like, right, I'm here. Good, let's start. So I can go through your house. We can go through your cupboards. I can look in the kitchen and the bathroom and be like, right, let's make a plan of attack. Let's work out where to start. And it takes that overwhelm out of it for the people that just go, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where to start. You've said room by room, but like, what the hell? Like, where do I go from here? So I really hope to kind of come in. I'll even show you how to make up some of the products that I make myself. I bring like a little bit of a hamper or a little bit of like some empty spray bottles. And I'm like, right, let's get the bicarb and the Castile soap and let's make a soft scrub and let's do this together so that you have the power now to be able to make that yourself and reuse it yourself. And that's something that I would really love to be able to show people is, look how easy it is. It takes literally like less than 30 seconds to make a multi-purpose spray. So that's sort of the detox your home. I've had a client that has actually asked me to come back reoccurring. So it's almost like it's a reoccurring job that I have every single week. She's like, I'm just doing her whole home. And for her, I've sort of included a little bit of low tox cleaning for her as well in that service. And it's just been lovely. And I'm so satisfied leaving her house every week because I know that it's healthy for her. It's healthy for her animals. It is just, I don't know, this sense of pleasure that I get coming out going, I've made this person's life healthier, better. Like, it's so gratifying. Like, I get so much out of it. And I'd love to be able to like come into people's homes and be able to offer that to them as well. So the Detox Your Home and the phone consultations have been amazing. The phone consultations I've found have been quite specific on a topic. So I've done rugs, which was an amazing. I've never deep dived into rugs more than I did on this phone conversation.
I thought about a rug when you were talking earlier. I was like,
rugs is amazing. And you asked me a question about rugs. I'm a rug expert.
Wow.
I've done 2 actually on teeth and like cavities, and some mums that have rung me going, oh my God, my child's mouth is full of cavities. I don't know what to do. I'm really saddened and overwhelmed, and I don't know what to do from here. So I've sort of done a couple of consultations. So that's sort of where the phone consultation side of it goes.
Yeah.
I also offer the webinars, which has been great. I've actually sold out my webinar tonight for Detox Your Kitchen, which is incredible. So that's just all things kitchen. We're going to be discussing pots and pans, utensils, bench sprays, cleaning products, cutlery, crockery, like all that sort of stuff. So we're just going to go over all things kitchen and just really deep dive into that. And then I also have a products review where that's probably the one service where I felt a little bit conflicted. So I think as my page grows, I've really found it difficult to respond to everybody that's like, what about this product and what about that product? And can you look into this for me? And is this one okay? And if it's easy and it's quick and it doesn't take up a lot of my time, or I know already that it's good, I'm like, yep, bang, ding, ding. But also I don't want to get it wrong. And it does, like finding the ingredients, reading through, going, oh, actually, I don't know that one. I need to look that one up. And so I've got a service for that now.
Great.
Where it's $15, and if someone wants to get a brand or a product reviewed, they can just punch it in there and it comes through to me. So if I've got the time, I will do it, but otherwise there's that service. So, the website was massive. I built it myself. It took nearly 2 years.
Congratulations.
I don't know why I built it myself. I think I was just like, I can't put money into this until I start making money. I just have this bizarre mentality of like, oh, I can't invest in something. I'll just do it myself. And so it took a little bit longer than but now I'm a website expert and I can make all the changes myself, and I don't have to pay anybody for it. So I'll get to the point where I'm just like, oh my God, take that baby over. I don't want anything to do with it. But at this point in time, it's sort of just, that's my little thing. So I guess, that's sort of me and my services. And I just want people to sort of know, like, who I am, and that I'm not out here to, I don't know, some people think that I maybe have wrong intentions, that I'm trying to scare people, that I'm trying to take advantage of young parents and young mothers, and, oh, how could you? And I'm not like that at all. I really want like a judgment-free space that, you know what, you want to use that, that's fine. If you want to use, if you want to get Botox but eat organic food, fine. I don't care. Like, I'm not here to judge that decision. I'm honestly here to be like, this is Botox. This is what's in it. Go for it. You know what's in it now? You still want to use it?
Yeah, well, be informed.
That's
You're informing.
fine.
Yeah.
It's I'm trying my best to not make it a sort of an anxious field for people, an anxious space. So, I hope that comes across. I think it does for most people, but I'm genuinely here because I feel really passionate, particularly about children. It's basically like environmental toxins and children. Like that's sort of where I feel like the passion's lying at the moment. So,
brilliant.
Why are kids so sick? What's happening? Why are babies born sick? And like, is it the environment? Is it the things that we're coming into contact with? I don't know the answer, but you know what? If I can sort of make someone's childhood just that little bit healthier, then I feel like that's a good start.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Amelia.
Thank you. It's been really lovely to meet you.
Wisdom.
And
you too.
Oh, yes. Well, is it? Wisdom. And that's it. Like I've sort of said, there was something I wanted to say the other day. It's like, and I think I'm going to post it. It says, I'm not qualified, but here I am. And I sort of want to explain to people that it's okay not to have a piece of paper or you can still be knowledgeable, but not have, I guess, the expectations. Because I think I do get a bit of like, oh, well, who are you to say that? And who are you to question this and question that? And it's like, well, I'm educating myself. I'm educated. And that's okay. And I think it's people are very quick to shut you down for not having a piece of paper or sort of a degree. And then, like, that's great if you do that, good on you. But there's people out there that I think can show a lot of self-education and be good at stuff. And I'm just like, if I don't know the answer, I will look and read and search and find until I'm like satisfied, because, you know, the internet's like, and you can get a lot of different answers and a lot of different, truths or not truth coming from it. And so, it's very difficult to sometimes get to the bottom of an answer.
Well, you're doing a great job.
Here I am.
Very grateful to have you here with
us
and sharing your knowledge and expertise and wisdom with us. So thank you so much for your time.
I really appreciate it, and thanks for persisting with all the times and the dates. And we got there in the end.
We made it.
But so much love to you guys, and if you ever want to reach out, Steph, I'm really happy to have a chat with you just about life and grief. And I'm very sorry that happened to you, and it's just a tragedy in life. And I'm so glad that you've got beautiful Fred to help heal your heart. But they'll just forever be that spot for him. So much love.
Amazing. Thank you.
Okay. Take care, girls.
Have a beautiful day.
You too. Thanks so much.
You.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Amelia. And if you enjoyed the pod, what can people do, Chloe?
They can come and follow us on Instagram, and they can like and subscribe on
I never let you do this, do I? I always do this. So you can follow us on Instagram at the.selfishpodcast. You can also subscribe to us wherever you listen to your podcast. And we've also just created this new thing called the Inner Circle, which means that you can support the podcast if you value this content. You can give back via the Inner Circle, and you can find a link at the very, very bottom of our show notes.
Yes.
Also in our link tree in Instagram, in our Instagram bio. Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
Bye. Can you cut me out?
Yeah, I can cut that out.